So what if an ancient mantra wasn't just a prayer, but was actually a kind of biotechnical manual for your body's internal chemistry? Today, we're diving into a really fascinating idea from the texts of Gayatri Mahavigyan and Akan's Jyoti, the claim that sound, yes sound, can directly influence our hormones and glands.
Okay, first, let's completely reimagine what our body is. Forget just flesh and bone for a second. Instead, think of it as this incredibly sophisticated chemical factory. According to the source material, this internal lab is running millions of reactions every single second, controlling literally everything from your mood to your metabolism.
And who are the managers running this whole operation? Well, they're these tiny but incredibly powerful chemical messengers called hormones. They're like the invisible force dictating the entire rhythm of our system. And when they're all in sync, we feel healthy, we feel vibrant.
But what happens when the signals get crossed? When this perfectly tuned orchestra just falls out of sync? The fallout from a hormonal imbalance can ripple through our entire sense of well-being, leading to a whole bunch of issues that, let's be honest, many of us face today.
So how do we get this internal orchestra back in tune? This is where the source material introduces a really remarkable idea. It suggests a direct link between the syllables of an ancient mantra and the very control panel of our internal lab, our glands.
According to this school of thought, our body has 24 key glandular centers. You can think of these as the critical nodes, the master switches that regulate almost all of our bodily functions, 24 of them. And here's the core claim, so listen to this. The 24 syllables of the Gayatri Mantra aren't just random sounds. The text says that each syllable is a specific acoustic key, a kind of vibrational code that's designed to activate one of those 24 glands. It's like a precise on-off switch for each one.
Okay, but how could a sound, a simple chant, actually translate into a biological command? The source describes this really fascinating physical mechanism. It's like a chain reaction that starts on the tongue and ends deep inside the brain. So here's how it's described. The process starts with the physical act of chanting. As your tongue touches these very specific points on the roof of your mouth, the source claims this pressure creates something it calls a neuroelectric wave. So the idea is, it's not just sound, it's a patterned energy signal that travels right to the brain's core.
And where does this wave go? It heads straight for the pituitary and pineal glands. Now, modern medicine has a special name for the pituitary. It calls it the master gland. And for good reason. It pretty much controls and directs the functions of almost all the other endocrine glands. The claim here is that the mantra's vibration directly stimulates and balances this command center.
So if this process can influence the master gland, you can just imagine the cascade of harmony that could create through the entire system, right? And this brings us to the connection the source makes between this ancient practice and some very modern health problems. Citing a 1978 article from Akan Jyoti, the source argues that the root cause of so many conditions we see today isn't really external, but internal. Ailments that are super common now, like thyroid disorders and diabetes, are pinpointed as being the direct result of imbalanced secretions from our glands. The solution it proposes, then, is vibrational. For glands like the thyroid and adrenal, which are so often tied to stress and metabolism, the mantra's rhythm is claimed to provide a stable, harmonizing frequency. This vibration is said to literally unblock pathways and purify chemical flows, helping restore balance from the inside out. At the end of the day, this whole perspective asks us to kind of reframe what we think a mantra is and what it does. It moves it from being something that's purely spiritual into the realm of the biological. And that brings us to the final takeaway. Is this mantra just a simple prayer? Or, as the source suggests, is it something more like a sophisticated biochemical regulator? A tool that was maybe designed with a deep understanding of our internal chemistry, meant for maintenance and harmony. And so we're left with a really profound question. This idea that specific sound frequencies could actually influence our biology bridges an ancient practice with modern science. And it makes you wonder, could the key to managing our own internal chemistry have been hidden in sound all along?